Hi, this is Eric Cummins with your Southwest Kentucky Fishing Report. Barren River Lake is still about 10 foot high and falling back to summer pool. Bass have been fair on spinner baits, shallow crankbaits, lizards, and creature baits. Crappie have been good in 3 to 4 foot of water and also back out in 10 to 15 foot of water off the secondary creek channels. Green River Lake is at summer pool and bass are good on spinner baits, swim baits, shallow cranks, and miscellaneous soft plastics in about 3 to 8 foot of water. Crappie have been good in 6 to 12 foot of water near brush and structure. Walleye have been fair on the main lake points. Bluegill and red ear action is heating up at some of our smaller impoundments like Marion County Lakes, Burlington Lake, Briggs Lake with live or artificial baits. Barren River tailwater is producing a mixed bag of catfish, hybrids, and some walleye and crappie. Green and Nolan tailwaters are producing some walleye, crappie, and white bass catches. Also, smallmouth and rock bass action is in full swing on the Green River and its tributaries, and also the Barren River tributaries like Drake's Creek and Bay's Fork, with small crankbaits and spinners. As always, good luck and good fishing. Be sure your life jacket's got your back.
This is Marcy Anderson with the Fishing Report for Southeast Kentucky. On Lake Cumberland, water temperatures are ranging from the low to mid-60s depending on location and time of day. Black bass fishing has been great the last few weeks. The fish are close to the banks and most are fairly shallow. They've been hitting on a variety of lures, including jerkbaits, spinnerbaits, swim baits, and jigs. Crappie anglers have been having some success fishing up in the creeks around cover using jigs and minnows. Striped bass are looking healthy this year. They are in the lower parts of the creek and are generally from the surface down to 20 feet. On the Cumberland tailwater, flows are still up, but we've seen some nice rainbow trout come out of the tailwater the last few weeks. On Cedar Creek Lake, water temperatures are in the mid-60s. Bass have moved up into the shallower water and can be picked up on spinnerbaits and swim baits. We're also seeing good numbers of red ear sunfish up on the flats. Several water bodies in the district were recently stocked with trout, including Clear Creek in Bell County, Elk Springs and Beaver Creek in Wayne County, Right Fork Buffalo Creek in Owsley County, and Burt T. Combs Lake in Clay County. They can be caught on a variety of lures, including jigs, small crankbaits, and corn, so good luck and good fishing.
This is Rob Rold in the Northwestern Fishery District with a fishing update for our district lakes. Nolin River Lake is about a foot over summer pool, slowly falling, and it should be with summer pool here in a few days. Water temperatures in the upper 60s. Bass are definitely moving to the post-spawn deeper water areas, some of the deeper ledges and deeper structure. Fishermen have been picking up several on a variety of plastics, as well as some jigs and crawfish plastics. Fished around the ledges and some of the deeper structure along the main lake points. Using some weightless or slow sinking worms are good around some of the shallower structure. Mostly those are smaller fish, so they're being caught there. Crappie are still catching some, but it's slowed down quite a bit too. They're catching some crappie, fishing some of the 8 to 10 foot brush piles. The size is kind of dropping off a bit, but there's still a few out there that they're catching. Rough River Lake, fishing definitely has slowed down there since rains a week ago caused the lake to jump up 7 feet. Still about 6 feet above summer pool, and they're falling pretty hard. So that's caused the fishing to shut down somewhat. Catching a few smaller bass, just not seeing a lot of the bigger ones. Crappie also slowed down there. Seeing a few larger 12-inch fish, fishing around brush piles and just kind of drifting and trolling along the bank as well. But mostly they're not the bigger fish that were being caught a week ago, but they're still catching some. One thing that is improving is the hybrid striped bass. They're actually biting pretty good. Anglers are catching several trolling, say the Middle South Fork, Cannon's Point, Walters Creek, Panther Creek areas. Most of the fish, however, are above that. They're above Everly. They're trolling somewhat up at Everly, but also using live bait as well as curly-tail jigs. Most of the fish are still up in that upper area at this point, but should be heading back down before too long. Lake Malone, bass slower there too, but still picking up some around some of the deeper structures, larger rocks on the deeper banks. Red ear are starting to bite, and they're starting to catch several of them along the shallower, rockier shorelines, especially at the edge of the water willow. Several fish are holding in that. Peabody WMA, they're still catching a few bass, but the bluegill and red ear are really starting to pick up on those mine lakes. Look for little pockets or shallower spots in an otherwise steep bank, especially gravelly or shaly banks with trees hanging over. The bluegill as well as the red ear are starting to move in those areas. Finns Lakes, Davis County, Prince Creek Park, William Morris Park, Yellow Creek Park, as well as Bevel Park in Litchfield, Madisonville Park in Madisonville. All those lakes were stocked with catfish week and a half ago. Fishermen are starting to pick up a lot of those fish and doing well. Bluegill, red ear activity picking up on some of our smaller lakes. A couple of good bets to try would be Carpenter's Lake in Davis County and Mosaic Lake in Union County. Have both decent red ear and bluegill, so those would both be good spots to try. Rivers are still high at this point from rain, not much activity there. So that's an update from the Northwestern District. Hope you do well. Please remember, be safe on the water. Always wear your life jackets.